Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review, and this is a very special album to me. It's Oliver Wakeman and Anam Cara, which translates into Soul Friend. I've interviewed Oliver Wakeman twice now, and the second interview, which is going out roughly either just before or after this video reviewing this album, is absolutely fantastic. To say it's just another album is a kind of disservice to it, really. It's the press blurb calls it a Celtic rock kind of prog kind of styled album, and the Celtic feel is certainly there. But this is an album that keeps giving with each successive listen. And what really came across when I spoke to Oliver is I got my notes in front of me. I knew what questions to ask. I wanted to go through lots of the tracks. Is what I didn't realise is how much research and thought had gone into the lyrics. Oliver Wakeman writes all of the music, literally everything, even the solo parts, and in which he gives out to the different musicians, bear with me, and he writes all the lyrics. But these are more than just songs. These are like little plays. These are like little theatrical productions with stories, with full stories then set to music. I think I said in my interview, it's like that they're soundtracks to dramas that haven't been made into film yet. That's what they're like. And you start to pick up on that as soon as you start to listen to it. And when I first listened to it, because obviously Oliver Wakeman, obviously his dad's Rick, and he's done lots of prog stuff, and he's an absolutely keyboard wizard, and obviously aligned with progressive music. He's also played with Yes. When I first listened to this, the first thing that I latched onto was, whoa, these are songs. These are really fantastic songs with wonderful verses that could be choruses. As Oliver said, he learnt a lot from John Wetton. How he mentioned in our first interview that John Wetton was such a skilled writer of music that even the verses sounded like they could be standalone choruses. This album has that sense of melody, so that not only are you drawn in to the verses and every aspect, whether the middle eights or wherever it goes off to, but the choruses are really tug at the heart, and they really bring home what the songs are about. But where the magic is that I looked back through the press release thinking, it's talking about, this is a progressive rock stuff, and I thought, I just heard the songs, I just heard these beautiful songs. The second time I went in, I was aware of, whoa, I hadn't noticed this, a really fierce guitar solo on that track, or wow, listen to the keyboards on that. And then the next time I went in, I heard even more, and I realised the extent of the progressive stuff in the songs. This is one of these albums that will just grow on you. There are some albums where you just feel as if you've explored everything during your first listen. It hits you, you love it, but it may not be something that you kind of like visit that often. This is an album where I genuinely look forward to listening to it, because I wonder what else I'm going to find. There's so many layers of stuff going on. So when you listen to it on headphones, you find yourself listening to the drums, the bass, the guitar, the keyboards, the different instrumentation, because there's lots, is fantastic. So just a few pointers on it, really. And as I do this, I'll bring up a little video at the bottom of this screen. Will show you the little booklet which comes with the CD. It's only on CD at the moment, but it may be available on a short run vinyl in the future. The view from here is about 4 minutes long, and it's a great opening song. It's acoustic, it's Celtic, it's got a lovely chorus. Comes across as a love song. There's some wonderful violin playing in here as well from Robert McClung. Absolutely beautiful. Then there's a great guitar solo. The next one, The Queen's Lament, is a real story. And this is the one where, talking to Oliver, it's about 6 minutes long, it's a song about one of King Henry VIII's wives. No, it's got nothing to do with Oliver's dad or what he's done with the concept album on that subject. But talked all about how we researched this story about, the wife that had dalliances elsewhere. She ended up in the tower, and how she prepared herself to having her head chopped off, basically. And it's put that to music, but put it in such a way about putting across about the main character's courage and how she faced this end, and I must mention Hayley Griffiths here. Hayley Griffiths is the vocalist, and her voice is, how would I describe her voice? It's unique, but if I had to kind of put it somewhere so that those of you who aren't sure or don't know Hayley, imagine Renaissance, or imagine All About Eve, Loreena McKennitt, that kind of, she probably the ballpark is more towards Renaissance, but it's just a really, really emotive voice. A bit Blackmore's Night as well, actually. So there's a little bit of Candice in there, but it's 100% Hayley. It really is. There's one of my favourite tracks is Here Is My Heart. Now, this is 7.5 minutes long, and the reason why I've picked this is there's, if I can find it, is the kind of the whistles and the flutes, which has got this real, genuine Celtic feel. It starts, the lyrics, the voice, the vocals don't start for 2 minutes into this. So the instrumentation, the keyboard layering, and this lonely kind of flute, Celtic, feel just comes out. And where I live, in the far west of Cornwall, we don't have to drive very far to come across stone circles and holy wells and stuff like that. And this was just, we had it on in the car, and it was just like the perfect soundtrack as we looked out at the landscape going past the car, coming over the brow of the hill and seeing these kind of ancient stones and stuff. This music just really, really, fitted into that. It really did. There's a great synth solo and a great chorus, absolutely fantastic. And then we go back to these pipes, these Celtic pipes at the end, and it's absolutely brilliant. But there's even better stuff coming along. Marble Arch. I think if you search online, you'll see people talking about this. This is a defining moment, I feel, in Oliver Wakeman's career. This is nearly 9 minutes long. And this is a story. This is a film here. An entire film could be made of this story. It's about, this espionage, secret agents and stuff. But it's beyond that. It's the whole cinematic way that this is put together, that literally, visually, as I said, this is an album that gives so much in there. There's different layers, you hear different things each time, but each time you play it, the story makes more sense. And Hayley's phrasing means you can hear every word that she sings, so you can follow the story, really well. These kind of albums where you get the chorus and then it comes to the verse and you're kind of not quite sure. You have to look at the lyric sheet. You can pick this out, and it's a rich story full of characters and drama, literally, and the music. Oh God, the guitar solo in this. I must also mention David Mark Pierce, absolutely superb guitarist. He's worked with Oliver for many years, and he's absolutely spot on. It really, really is. There's what happens as well in this, because it's a story or a film. At about 3 minutes 24 seconds, it drops back into like a jazz section, and it's almost as if we're in a nightclub and outside it's raining, and there's kind of like the street lights are reflecting in the cobbled streets and stuff. I'm almost writing the script for the film here, and then another guitar solo arrives, and it's just absolutely, it's the rockiest track probably on the album, but it's fantastic. And then 6 minutes got another violin solo, and it just rock out with a synth solo. It's got everything. Marble Arch from Anam Cara. Listen to that, and it'll give you a doorway into what is going on. The next one that I wanted to mention is In the Moonlight. It's a lovely groove, very dreamy, lovely vocal. And then Miss You Now. Now this is probably one of the most commercial songs on there, and I think it's a single. It's got a great chorus. It's very kind of a bit of Sam Brown in this one, a bit of Tapau. This is probably where I felt the All About Eve kind of link was really. And I'd made in my notes before I spoke to Oliver, said, a really heartfelt guitar solo from David, except it's not. This guitar solo is by Oliver Wakeman. So, this guy has got so many strings to his bow, so many talents. And I think talking to Oliver and hearing how these songs came together and how much time went into it and thought and research, and how he was saying how he sat down with Haley and said, this song is about this, and so what you want to try and feel is you're frightened, or you're getting your courage back, or whatever, and all of that comes out of it. It's just fantastic. And then we've got Instead of the Fear, which is kind of about someone coming back from the edge, really. It's a great little funky riff. It's quite a short song. There's some great jazz piano on this. It's beautiful. And then we've got Lonely, again, solo kind of piano at the vocal. It's got a lovely synth solo. It's quite fast. It's about 5 minutes long. And a wonderful feel to the whole album. And then my second favourite one is 8.5 minutes long, and it's Golden Sun in Grey. This is the epic, and again it's got these flute Celtic pipes again, another 2 minutes before the vocals come in, this keyboard layering, setting the scene. You can see the credits of this epic film that you can't wait to sit down with your popcorn to watch, and this is the music for it. It's just brilliant. It's got a real Celtic, mystical, almost Eastern kind of feel to it. It's just brilliant. It just reminds me, I live by the sea and I can imagine the ocean and hear the ocean. Wonderful, ethereal kind of choir sound in it. And then it has another one of these guitar solos that's just fantastic. Now, there are certain chord sequences and a certain pace of song that, as a guitarist, if you're suddenly asked to play on a song like this, if you just kind of rub your hands in glee because you think, this is going to be my moment to just go with the moment. This is one of those songs. So it's distant family member as a chord sequence, not as a song, is probably Comfortably Numb. And it's interesting that Oliver had said to David, imagine you're stood at the top of the wall like David Gilmour and you make that appearance and you start playing. The solo has that feel, and David's solo is measured, sensitive, and connected to the story. And those of you who watch my reviews before, this is really important to me. I know as musicians, sometimes you can just let go of the rope and just off you go, and you suddenly lose sense of where you are and you forget actually you're supposed to be playing with this song. David is in this music, and this is what makes listening to this album so exciting, because it just gives so much each time. And so each instrument is part of the story, it's part of the lyrical story, it's part of telling the tale. And everything fits. Everything is in unison with itself. The album, Anam Cara, means soul friends. And what Oliver was trying to capture in that title is the idea that as humans, if we go into a room and we don't know each other, we have to kind of find out, hello, my name's blah, and what do you do? Musicians can just plug in, start playing without even looking at the other person in the room. Doesn't matter if he's shy or whoever it is. And when music starts to happen, you just start to connect. You just hear something and you just start to join the dots. It starts to create in real time. And that's why you feel that the album Soul Friends is the fact that you are literally connecting through the soul, you cannot put into words that just by you've just met, but you can create music. The difference here, of course, is that this team of musicians have not just met. They've known each other for a long time, and so their telepathic powers are absolute, really. Hayley Griffiths, vocals, backing vocals. Oliver Wakeman, piano, Rhodes, keyboards, electric guitar. Oliver Day, classical guitar. Oliver Day's classical guitar playing is superb. Lute, mandolin, lap steel guitar. David Mark Pierce, electric guitar. And Troy Donottley on whistles. Robert McClung on violin. And Steve Amadio on fretless bass guitar. And Scott Ingham on drums and percussion. Give it a listen. I think the first run has already sold out on CD. I am so pleased that this album is doing well. Adam is such a lovely guy. The whole album fits together so well. And this will definitely be in my top albums of 2024. I just know that already. Anam Cara by Oliver Wakeman. Out now on CD. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Keep spinning those discs. Take care. Share, like, subscribe wherever you are on social media. So take care, everybody, and I shall see you all very, very soon.